Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. I am back with another interesting video in this Docker Fundamentals series, and this would be for day 3. So today I'm gonna talk about containers and images. Then I would be talking about Docker installation. What are the versions of Docker available? Then we will be seeing the difference between the two versions of the Docker. Then we will be seeing how to install Docker on a Linux machine, and we will also be seeing which version we will be using in this beginner's tutorial. Okay, so stay tuned with Tech on Cloud and learn Docker. Okay, so let's move to the first topic, which is container versus image. So the prior 2 lectures I have been talking about containers, and I have been saying we will be creating a Docker image. So what are they? So an image is nothing but a package or a template, and it is basically used to create a containers. Now how this image is created? The image is created with the help of a Docker file, which has its own set of instructions which we use to write the things inside the Docker file, and using that Docker file we create the Docker image. Okay, and after creation of the Docker image we run the Docker image. Okay, we will be seeing more about Docker image, how it is built, how we write the Docker file, and how we execute this image to run our application in the coming lectures. Okay, now let's talk about containers. Containers are running instances of the image that are isolated, means they did not have to do anything with any other processes. They are complete within themselves. Okay, and they have their own set of environments and processes. They do not require dependency on each other, and this image only is the instances in the form of container. Okay, I hope you all may have been got what I am trying to tell about containers. Okay, if you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment box and I would be happy to help you out. Okay, now let's move to the next slide and see what are the versions or editions of Docker available. As you can see on the screen, we have 2 editions of Docker available, and the first one is the Enterprise edition and second one is the Community edition. So we will be mostly using the Community edition during these lectures, and Enterprise editions come with extra benefits as it makes use of a certified Docker images and containers, and Community edition make use of the non-certified images and containers. Okay, we will explore more about both the editions in the coming slides. Okay, here we are. Differences between the 2 editions. So if we talk about Docker CE, which means Docker Community Edition, and Docker EE, which means Enterprise Edition. So let's talk about first Community Edition. So Docker Community Edition is basically free and open source containerization platform which every beginners use as a free of cost. Okay, basically it is a rebranded version of the Docker open source solution that is freely available since 2013 when the Docker was launched. Okay, Docker Community Edition can be run on Windows 10, Mac, on Azure and AWS, and it also supports CentOS, Debian, Fedora and Ubuntu, and it can be also directly downloaded from Docker Store. Now this community version is further divided into two tiers, which is Edge and Stable. The difference between the two is Edge will be released each month with the latest feature, and it will be continuously receiving security updates and bug fixes for the current release. Whereas Stable continues to be published quarterly. Means Edge will be released in every month and Stable would be published quarterly. And the Stable version will get similar updates for 4 months after the initial release. Okay, so this is all about Docker Community Edition. Now let's talk about Docker Enterprise Edition. Okay, it is a premium version of the Community Edition, we can say. It is an integrated, fully supported and certified container platform that runs on a Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, and also Oracle Linux, Ubuntu, Windows Server 2016, as well as Azure and AWS. As I said in slide number 3 at the starting, it supports certified containers and plugins from Docker Store. Okay, now this Docker Enterprise Edition is available in 3 tiers. The first one is basic, second one is standard, and third is advanced. The basic Docker platform for certified infrastructure with support from Docker and certified containers and plugins from Docker Store. Standards version adds advanced image, not advantage, it's advanced image and container management, user integration and role-based access control. Means the standard version of Enterprise Edition provides more control features for the images. Okay, then we come to the third one, which is advanced. It adds the security scanning and continuous vulnerability monitoring. Means it adds the observability features to the image or to the Docker. Okay, so this is all about the two editions which we are having currently, and we will be using Community Edition for these fundamental course. Now the next thing, how we will install Docker in our machines. We can install Docker on Linux, Windows, Mac and cloud platforms. In Linux, we would be following the commands which you are seeing on screen, although there are many methods which support more types of installation on Linux systems. For Windows, we will be using Docker Desktop, and for Mac also we will be using Docker Desktops. Now the other way of running images on Mac and Windows can be done through installing a virtual machine and setting up the Linux operating system inside VM and try to install it. Okay, that's the more complex and time-taking way. Okay, now next, how how we will be installing Docker on Linux systems. So first of all, we will be using a community version for tutorials. Then we will be using the direct script method. But hold on, we have more ways to download Docker, and for that we have to visit the official document website for Docker, which is docs.docker.com, and from there we have to come to Docker engine, then to the install option, and as you will see, you will be seeing many versions of Linux available. We have CentOS, Debian, Fedora, Red Hat, then we have Ubuntu. So my system belongs to Ubuntu. So as I am already present in this, we have OS requirements which we have to follow these prerequisites. Then my is Ubuntu Focal 20.04. okay, so if you have any doubt that you have installed Docker previously and you have any files, you can directly run this sudo apt-get command and you can uninstall any previous old versions. Okay, the one method is installing through an apt repository. Okay, you can see all commands are available, and I will be also providing this link in the description of this video, so you can go and explore this one. Okay, then you have to install the Docker engine, so it's a long process. Then we have to install from Docker package, or we can say straight away from package we can install. Then we can install using a convenience script. Okay, so I will be using this method for my Ubuntu system. I have pre-installed Docker inside this system, so let's check it out, the version which I am having. Okay, so let's move towards the terminal. Sudo Docker version, hit enter. I will be giving the password for root. As you can see, my Docker version is 23. Okay, now let's see if my Docker is working well. So I would be pulling an image and try to print hello world. Okay, so for that one I will be running docker pull hello world. I got this error because I have my Docker installed in root. Okay, so I have to use sudo. Now it will fetch the latest tag image for this hello world. So from where I am getting this hello world image is from the Docker Hub repository. Okay, if you search in Google straight away that simple hello world output Docker image, you will be getting names of that image, and you can straight away apply with the help of Docker pull. Okay, as you can see, this image is been fetched from the Docker Hub. Now let's see what next to be done. Then I will run sudo docker images. Okay, I have pre-pulled this image, so I have hello world with me. Now let's run this repository. Okay, so the command to run this repository would be sudo docker run hello world. Okay, my hello is gone. Okay, Now it's fetched. You can see hello from Docker, and now what it says the below that how this command is working. So we would be seeing how this command works and what it does inside, so this output comes. Okay, so the output is revealed. So in the coming lectures we would be talking about the Docker architecture and Docker commands, and I would be covering this command section and this message what it tells what Docker is doing with the help of the command. Okay, for now you can just read and try to understand what that means, and in the next video I would be talking about this Docker daemon, Docker client and all, which comes under the architecture section. Okay, let's move back to the slide. Yeah, that's all for today. We saw what are containers and what are images. Then we saw the two editions which are available for Docker. They are community editions, and we saw for enterprise edition and what are the differences between them and how they are further divided. And then we saw the how to install Docker on different version of Linux and also on Mac and Windows. And for the first very basic, I showed you how we pull an image from the Docker Hub and we run that. So Docker Hub is a public cloud hosted image repository. So that's all for today. If you like this content for the day 3, please hit the like button. If you have any suggestions, please comment it out in the comment box below, and please subscribe my channel and hit the like button and bell icon, and there would be lots of more interesting stuffs coming in the future. Okay, take care, bye bye, see you all, best wishes from Tech on Cloud.